The old Chevrolet rumbled down a dusty country road, its tires kicking up golden clouds beneath the late afternoon sun. Inside sat 24-year-old Margaret, her hands trembling around a weathered leather suitcase. Her simple floral dress, though neat and mended, spoke quietly of years of hardship. Her father's harsh words from that morning still echoed in her mind. "Margaret, this arrangement will fix our problems. Thomas Brennan needs a wife, and frankly, you should be grateful for the offer." They weren't words of love, but of transaction. To her parents, Margaret wasn't a daughter anymore. She was a solution to a debt. When the truck stopped in front of a modest farmhouse, Margaret stepped out slowly, her heart heavy. She felt less like a bride and more like a package being delivered. Her father didn't meet her eyes as he muttered, "Thomas should be around somewhere. You're his responsibility now. Don't embarrass us." From behind the farmhouse, two men appeared, one younger, one older. The younger man, with brown hair and gentle eyes, stepped forward. "I'm Thomas Brennan," he said softly, holding his hat respectfully. "And this is my father, Samuel. Welcome to our home, Miss Margaret." His voice wasn't commanding or cold, it was kind. And for the first time that day, Margaret felt something she hadn't in years. Safety. "I know this isn't how you imagined your life," Thomas continued gently, "but I promise you'll always be treated with respect here. This is your home, for as long as you wish to stay." As her father drove away, leaving nothing but a trail of dust behind, Margaret stood in silence, alone, uncertain, and terrified. Then Thomas smiled kindly. "Come," he said, "you must be tired. Let me show you the house." The farmhouse was simple but spotless, filled with warmth and quiet dignity. A large kitchen table stood at its heart, clearly made for laughter and family, things Margaret had never truly known. "There's a lock on your door," Thomas told her. "You'll have privacy and comfort. That's important to us." His father added with a kind chuckle, "My dear, Thomas is a good man. You'll find no cruelty here, only care." That night, over a humble meal of pot roast and vegetables, Margaret began to realize that kindness could live even in the smallest corners of the world. They asked about her life, her interests, her dreams, questions no one had ever cared to ask. When she mentioned her love for books, Thomas's eyes lit up. "Then you'll enjoy our library," he said warmly. "Please, help yourself to any story that calls to you." Days turned into weeks, and weeks into seasons. Margaret began to thrive. The Brennans treated her not as an obligation, but as family. She discovered a sharp mind for numbers and began helping Thomas manage his growing business. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sun dip below the horizon, Margaret finally asked, "Why didn't you tell my father you were wealthy?" Thomas smiled faintly. "Because your father wasn't looking for a husband for you, he was looking for a buyer. I didn't want that to change his answer." "Then why did you want me?" she whispered. His reply was simple. "Loneliness," he said. "This farm is full of life, but it's been empty. I thought, maybe we could fill that space together." As months passed, Margaret found herself laughing more, smiling more. The once timid girl who arrived with a trembling heart now carried herself with quiet confidence. Her laughter filled the halls. Her presence warmed the home. Then, one snowy evening, as they sat reading by the fire, Thomas closed his book and looked at her. "Margaret," he said softly, "I need to tell you something. When this began, I thought it was just a partnership, a way to help each other, but somewhere along the way, I fell in love with you." Margaret felt her heart catch. Tears welled in her eyes. Thomas continued, "You've brought light into my life. If you'd ever want to make this marriage real, truly real, it would mean everything to me." Margaret reached for his hand and whispered, "Thomas, I love you too. You've given me something I never had before, a home, and a reason to believe in myself." That spring, they renewed their vows, not out of duty, but out of love. Margaret bloomed into the woman she was always meant to be: confident, capable, radiant. Her parents, upon learning of Thomas's true success, tried to reach out, but Margaret, with calm grace, chose not to return to the life that had never cherished her. Years later, as she watched her children play in the same farmyard where she'd once stood with a broken heart, she finally understood. Thomas hadn't just given her a home, he'd given her the gift of seeing herself through loving eyes, and that, dear listener, is the quiet power of kindness. This is Whispers of Kindness, where every story reminds us that love, respect, and compassion can change everything.